a good question, a reasonable question. The protection we have as Americans is that the government, in general and in that statute in particular, has to prove before they can prosecute any of us that we did this thing that's forbidden by the law, and that when we did it, we knew we were doing something that was unlawful. We don't have to know the code number, but that we knew we were doing something that was unlawful. That's the protection we have. And it's one I've worked for very hard. When I was in the private sector, I did a lot of work with the Chamber of Commerce to stop the criminalization of negligence in the United States.
You know, though, may I interrupt and suggest that this statute says knowingly remove such documents or materials without authority and with the intent to retain such documents or materials at an unauthorized location. The intent here in the statute is to retain the documents at an unauthorized location. It's not intent to pass them on to a terrorist or to someone out in internet land. It's just the intent to retain the documents or materials at an unauthorized location.
Yeah, it's more than that, though. You'd have to show that and prove criminal intent, both by law, that's the way the judge would instruct a jury, and practice of the Department of Justice. They have reserved that statute, even though it's just a misdemeanor, for people who clearly knew they were breaking the law, and that's the challenge. So should have known, must have known, had to know, does not get you there. You must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they knew they were engaged in something that was unlawful.
Okay,
that's the challenge.
May I turn to her attorneys? Did all of Secretary Clinton's attorneys have the requisite clearances at the time they received all of her emails, especially those that were classified at the time they were sent?
No.
They destroyed, as has been noted, 30,000 emails of Secretary Clinton's. Do you have 100% confidence that none of the 30,000 emails destroyed by Secretary Clinton's attorneys was marked as classified?
I don't have 100% confidence. I'm reasonably confident some of them were classified. There were only 3 in the entire batch we found that bore any markings that indicated they were classified. So that's less likely, but surely it's a reasonable assumption that some of the ones they deleted contain classified information.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.